Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Well, it was an absolutely masterful display of East Coast bias last night in the Bronx. Unfortunately, it was not enough to get their beloved Yankees over the top. Bob Costas was the voice of New York. And we got guys sticking their tongues out. We got guys pimping walks. Once again, I'd like to maybe I'm too in my Royals bubble here, Josh, but if you're America and you're watching this, obviously if you're in New York and you are a fan of the Yankees, you're like, yeah, hell yeah, this is awesome. I love this. But if you're anyone else watching that game, you are probably rooting for the Kansas City Royals. Like, you're rooting for the Yankees and the Red Sox to lose, like always. That is the rule of thumb for anybody outside the East Coast. Wrong or right?
I would think you are correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Not. Yeah.
Generally.
Yes. Wide blanket over the entire thing. We hate to do that, but sometimes it has to be done. And so last night, if you were watching the game, you're thinking, what in the heck is going on? And it was no better exemplified than here. A ground ball to shortstop by Giancarlo Stanton in the eighth inning. The Royals were leading 4-1 in Game 2 of the division series. It would be a monumental win for their team this year, for their franchise, to take it back to Kansas City with a split in New York, right? To take back home field advantage, a chance to actually win the series in Kansas City for the Kansas City Royals, who have played very well over the last two games, maybe better than anybody thought they had. But Bob Costas and Ron Darling, a few minutes before this, were talking about how Giancarlo Stanton had been instructed to not run very hard because he's had so many leg issues. And then when he hit a ground, and in fact, Costas said right before, Giancarlo Stanton hit this ground ball to Bobby Witt Jr. at shortstop, who made a lovely play to snare it and then throw it on to second and on to first.
Some might call it routine, Connor.
He said Giancarlo is quite the double play candidate. And, well, here's how it sounded last night on TBS.
Hit to short. Witt gets the force. Can they turn two? Yes, they can, and it's just the point we were making. It's not Giancarlo's fault. A near base hit. Couldn't beat it out at the other end. Turns into a double play.
Imagine that.
Yes, they can.
Yes, they can. It's not his fault.
It's not Giancarlo's fault.
It's not Giancarlo's fault. I mean, come on. Come on.
I maintain no professional broadcaster has ever sounded so sad.
Seriously. In a playoff game. It was a huge out. It was a huge 2 outs in the game. The Royals had done everything they could to that moment to just silence the crowd. There's all this buzz around the stadium. Like, you know what you're in for when you go play in New York against the Yankees in the playoffs.
Concrete jungle.
It's hard. You have to get up early and stay on it. And you can't let them get any, because they get a home run in the ninth. All of a sudden it's like, oh, the crowd's back, and I don't like the situation that they're running themselves into here.
The crowd is also awakened by a routine fly ball. Oh boy, they don't know how far that ball's going to go.
No,
at that stadium.
Well, maybe they think they have a chance to go out when they hit it 286 feet, because that's sometimes happens.
Maybe
in the Bronx. Wild stuff from Bob Costas, who, unfortunately for him, does have to do the remainder of this series, which might go 5 or might go 4. Jazz Chisholm, after the game,
this guy
who was responsible for that home run in the ninth, and also was a fan of purple arm sleeves. You know, they let him. They don't let him have facial hair, but they let him have purple arm sleeves up there.
I've also thought that's odd.
Interesting. He said after the game, quote, "It still feels the same that we're going to win it. I don't feel like anybody feels any different. We're going to go out there and do our thing still. We still don't feel like any team is better than us. We had a lot of missed opportunities tonight. So they just got lucky.
Oh no, Chaz, they're gonna put that on a shirt. And it's gonna have a Royals logo on it.
I would say, now I'm a biased observer of this, of course.
Okay.
I would say that the Yankees are lucky to not be down 0-2 in this series. And then by watching the two teams as unbiased as I possibly can, I cannot tell which team is better than the other. Number one, because it's baseball and it's hard to tell in a small sample size, such as a best of 5 series. But number two, who says the Yankees are so much better than the Royals? Where do they get? I don't get it.
27 world titles.
They have Aaron Judge, who has done jack nothing in the postseason, and they have Juan Soto pimping walks and shaking his head. My God, Judge, you want to see me go old man during a baseball game? Watch me watch Juan Soto play. I think he's a great player. He's an incredible player, and he's a great player for 2024 because he gets on base a lot. He's got a great eye. He walks with the best of them. He's got power. He's a star. He's got speed, like all these things. But in the first inning, when you swing and miss at a Cole Reagan slider, swing and miss, you missed, right? And looks back at the pitcher and goes, yeah, I got it.
I'm going to get it.
He didn't, by the way. He didn't, for the record. And you're Carlos Rodon in the first inning, striking and then Bob Costas in the first inning goes, Rodon's got no-hit stuff. And guess what? He's thrown a no-hitter before in his career with the White Sox. He's got no-hit stuff. He's gotten 3 outs in the game. And this is your takeaway if you're Bob Costas. And Rodon's sticking out his tongue. He's like, oh, yeah, I got it tonight. Where does this team get so entitled? Is it because they're the Yankees? Is it because they have 27 world championships? Is it because Aaron Judge has strapped and Juan Soto have strapped the entire team on their back the entire season long, and now they think that they're due something just because they have those two players?
It's not Giancarlo's fault.
You need a full roster in order to win postseason games. You need a bullpen, which the Yankees don't have. You need more than one starting pitcher, which is what the Yankees don't have. And you need more than 2 baseball players, which is what the Yankees don't have, it seems. I don't get it. I don't get where they get so confident. It doesn't make any sense to me. Sticking out their tongues in the first inning. Michael Garcia comes back after the game and pops on Twitter and grabbed a video of the Rodon screaming and striking out everyone in the first inning and saying, oh, no, they're not going to be able to hit me tonight. You know, one of those things. Michael Garcia, don't celebrate too early. He later tweeted, we don't fear nobody.
Ooh.
That's Michael Garcia, who had really been quite the scourge on the Royals lineup this entire season. But, as noted by many, he played this last offseason in a little thing called, Josh, the Venezuelan Winter League. Have you ever seen any games from the Venezuelan Winter League?
I have. I watched
Ronnie. Nuts. They are nuts. And they are postseason environments every night. And so what do you know? Michael Garcia gets 4 hits last night. And he's been pretty
all singles.
He's been pretty good during the postseason. So
I thought it was a very odd note from Bob. All singles.
All singles, by the way. No damage done with that. They were going to build him they're going to build Judge a monument and a statue. And God, I mean, I just don't.
They'll build anyone a monument.
This is a bad. This is not enjoyable to me. Not enjoyable.
No, it was the game last night was a lot of fun for me, a relatively unbiased observer. I'm a red-blooded American, so I hate the Yankees. But the broadcast was straight trash, homie.
Aaron writes in on the text line.
Hi, Aaron.
He says it sounds worse than a local team calling their games that are actually paid by the team. It does. Bob Costas, not paid by the Yankees that we know of. Jeff writes in, to be fair, Bobby Witt has had a pretty bad postseason so far, except for the 2 go-ahead hits in game 1 and 2 of the wild card series. But that was
the last round.
That's neither here nor there.
You got to do it at Yankee Stadium for it to count.
I guess so. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night. I don't know. What do the Yankees think? They're going to go there and there's going to be 8 people there and they're going to say, oh, they're just a little Midwest. Like, no, there's going to be 40,000 people. They're going to be all on top of you. It's going to feel like 2015 again. The Yankees didn't get to experience that because they weren't there.
Patrick
in
Mahomes
14
is
and
going to
15.
sing the national anthem.
He was watching the scores last night. I heard "Let's Go Royals" chants breaking out at across the street at Arrowhead Stadium. Yeah, if that town needed any more juice, they have it. They have it.
Us against the world.
Yeah. Let's take a phone call here from the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. Here's Rick on the phone. Hi, Rick.
Good morning, Josh and Connor.
What's up?
Beautiful day out. Hey, I totally agree with you. Costas is, he's a cheerleader for whoever. But the games that Kansas City and New York played on Saturday was just amazing to see. See a guy walk. 3 guys. That's a stellar reliever. And then yesterday to watch the starter for the Yankees just shut him down, and the next thing you know, he's going to get an early shower. So I do not know how they sell Major League Baseball during the regular season, because to me it's awfully boring. But this playoff between the Kansas City and the Royals is just very, very exciting. But I had a duel last night. I kept flipping over to Peyton and his brother on ESPN, and this Mahomes, he's a circus master. He's thrown the ball behind his back. He's doing everything. So between the Royals and the Chiefs yesterday, or the Chiefs, or whatever you want to call them,
Nice.
they were just very entertaining. And what I'd like to see somebody put on a T-shirt is when the Yankees show up at Kauffman or wherever the stadium is in Kansas City, they could have a picture of or a video of Reed on third stealing home. So that would make my day.
Nice.
Thanks for taking my call. Appreciate the show.
Thank
Bye.
you, Rick. Appreciate it. Andy Reid steals home in an AI video? Sure. Why not?
Just another one of the many conspiracy theories we'll have to debunk today. Now, Connor.
Maybe they put Andy on top of the crown. That's way up there, send him up the ladder and have him just wave a towel or something like that.
Andy.
Oh my God, it's Andy Reid. What's he doing up there?
There's a cheeseburger up there. Go get it, bud.
I get scared just thinking about that, Josh. They have these drone shots every once in a while that go over the top of the Crown Vision scoreboard in Kansas City, and I freak out a little bit. I get scared.
Now,
What?
I kept this bit of information from you because I know you would not approve of us airing it, but I know some people in New York. I had them go into the clubhouse after the game yesterday, and hey, what was the vibe in that Yankees clubhouse yesterday? I have audio. I have obtained audio exclusive to the Connor Happer Show of Bob Costas and Giancarlo Stanton after the game yesterday.
Oh, interesting.
Here it is.
It's not your fault. I know. It's not your fault. I know. No, you don't. It's not your fault. I know. It's not your fault. All right? It's not your fault.
Wow.
It's not your fault.
The Giancarlo is pretty broken up.
Yeah. Pretty powerful audio.
Inconsolable.
Yeah.
Pretty powerful stuff. You're right.
I know.
Here's a tweet that Sean just sent me from Chris Valika, the Bear.
Oh, hi, Bear.
Jazz Chisholm says the Royals got lucky. You're the one who's lucky after game 1 replay debacle where you were clearly out at second base. Witt is 0 for 10 in the series, and Kansas City could easily be up 2-0. Might want to reassess that thought process, Jazz.
Great take, Bear.
Yeah. Just saying, man. I
not going to keep Bobby down for long.
Are they going to be surprised when they lose game 3, or if they lose game 3? Are the people going to be surprised by this? They shouldn't be.
I think the national media will.
I didn't know it was possible in a playoff series where the team clearly deserves to be there, that you're taking them because that seems to be that's the messaging from New York right now. They get by the Royals. It's the Royals. Yeah, the team that's gone 25-8 in postseason games over the last decade, have lost one postseason series in everybody's life that's been on the roster.
The thing I don't get from yesterday's game,
I don't understand it,
is okay. Reagan's clearly struggling. struggling so hard that Salvi motions to the bench.
Get somebody up.
Get a guy up now.
Get him
It
going.
doesn't matter who.
Yep.
Get somebody up. Would you like to work a count? Would you like to let him walk you? Or would you just like to swing at whatever comes your way?
I don't know what it is with them. They are not. I mean, first of all, it's a deeply flawed team. First of all, second of all, they seem to, for whatever reason, be taking the Royals lightly, and I cannot imagine that, Josh. I cannot imagine that. Whatever. You go ahead and keep doing that, but might not work out for you the next two in Kansas City. So also camera angles, again, a thing. Salvador Perez hits a home run and they're on the ump cam from behind home plate. Everyone was like, oh yeah, that was cool. No, it wasn't. Shut up. It was horrible. I am now the person who gets mad at the when the volleyball games come on and they do the behind the court cam.
Okay, you're that guy.
I actually don't get mad at that. I actually kind of appreciate that a little bit, but everybody else gets triggered about it. I guess I was the only person who was triggered by the ump cam.
I hate
why do we need to do these?
Ump cams are terrible. I can't see anything.
You can't see
it's
anything.
Shaking. It looks like the Blair Witch Project.
Exactly. It was not cool at all. I don't know why people are saying that.
Look at that. 2 movie references in this segment that Connor Happer understood.
By the way, what was the Giancarlo audio from?
A little film called Good Will Hunting. Okay,
gotcha.
so I guess we're one of two.
What was the other
segment.
one? What was the one you just mentioned?
Blair Witch Project. Shaky cam. You knew what I meant.
I don't think it's kind of 0 for 2, Josh.
Yeah, man.
0 for 2.